about each of our students. And we want to still say gushing and wonderful things about each of our students, but I warned the faculty that they had just a few minutes to do so. So we'll try to keep on time. And in that spirit, let me go ahead and start us off today. My name is Susan Rivera, and I am the current chair of the Department of Psychology. And let me just start by saying out loud, what a year this has been. Oh, wow, graduates. We are always filled with pride at these ceremonies, whether they're in person or like last year on Zoom, for all that our majors have accomplished and the hard work they've put into getting this far. But this year, just bar none, even more so. So what each of you has achieved, despite the added challenges of remote learning, the stress and the pressure imposed on both you and your loved ones in relation to the pandemic and other national and global events that all somehow had to occur this year, make your achievements all that much more remarkable. So I think we need to take a moment to unmute ourselves and just give a round of applause, or you can use the Zoom clappy hands, but I think some noise might be in order. We are very, very proud of all of you. And I hope that you are feeling that pride this moment as you get to your graduation stations and make it all happen, that this is a year like none other. And so even these amazing accomplishments that would be amazing on any year are even more so now. So there are 900 students graduating this spring. We have 23 departmental awards to give of two kinds. We'll be giving departmental citations and departmental, what's the other word for them, Rachel?
Citation for outstanding performance.
Yes, and those. But if you do the math, 23 students getting these and 900 graduating, that's only 3% of our graduating seniors that are receiving these awards. I say that to situate it and really celebrate the students that we're going to talk about each one of them today, and really say how very proud we are of you, and for families that are joining and students yourselves, know how distinguished these awards actually are. So top 3%. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to each of the faculty to quickly introduce themselves, and each of our amazing, and I do mean amazing, advising staff to introduce themselves as well. Go ahead and start. You want to start, Rachel?
Sure. My name is Rachel Hale, and I'm one of the staff advisors for psychology. And yes, the rest of the advisors can go.
Jillian.
Hello, my name is Jillian. I'm also one of the advisors, and I saw Stacy was about to go.
Stacy.
I'm Stacy Jenkins, an advisor.
Kristen.
Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm also a staff advisor.
Alyssa.
Hi, Alyssa McGorian. I'm a staff advisor.
Of course, certainly last but not least, our fearless leader, Melina.
My name is Melina. I'm the undergraduate programs manager and advisor, and just beaming with pride at all of you today.
Indeed. I'm going to start with our faculty in the order that I see them. Ron.
Hi, I'm Ron Manigan, professor of psychology, and congratulations to all of you. We're so proud of you.
Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie Graf Estes, also a faculty member in psychology.
Micah.
Micah Remtula, also professor in psychology.
Cam.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cam Hosnauer, assistant professor in psychology.
Paul Eastwick.
Hi, I'm Paul Eastwick, professor of psychology. Congratulations, everyone.
Yuko.
Hi, I'm Yuko Munakata, a professor in psychology, and thrilled to be here to celebrate your accomplishments with you today. Congratulations.
And you'll be hearing more from her in a little while, but Simona.
Hello, everyone. My name is Simona Ghetti. I'm a professor in psychology, and I'm the vice chair for undergraduate education. I'm very happy to be here. This is one of my favorite events of the year. Congratulations, everyone.
Charan.
Hi, I'm Charan Ranganath. I'm a professor of psychology and neuroscience, and I'm just very excited to be able to celebrate this with you.
Paul Hastings.
Hi, everyone. Paul Hastings, professor of psychology and human development, and congratulations to everyone.
Lindsay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Bowman. I'm a professor in psychology. What a wonderful reason for everybody to gather today. Congrats to everybody.
Great, and we have a bunch of graduate students that I can see online too, but in the interest of time, we'll let them introduce themselves when they talk about our students. So Rachel, you wanna, or how are we gonna take it away here?
Either you or I can tell the professor who's going and say the name of the student. I'm fine with doing it, or I'm fine with you doing it.
Okay, I don't mind doing it.
Okay.
So the first student we're going to present an award to is Priscilla Ferreira Servin. And Katie Graf Estes is going to present her.
Yes, I was just looking through to see if she is here. But I will go ahead anyway, since we are short on time and she can see the recording if she's not here yet. So I wanted to talk about the contributions that Priscilla has made in my lab. She joined my lab, the Language Learning Lab, last year. And Priscilla has worked on a project about how Spanish-English bilingual parents talk to and interact with their infants. I particularly want to recognize Priscilla's contributions to this project among a really wonderful and dedicated group of students because she took a big leadership role in this team. She contributed to brand new plans for how babies and parents play together and interact, and how we could look for cultural and linguistic patterns in these Latina families. So based on watching videos of parents with their babies, she took this role in developing a new research question along with a team and a graduate student, Andrea Ramirez Barajas, to determine how to test this new and creative question about how parents use diminutives in Spanish to help their baby's language development. So we will really miss her innovation and her determination. So I want to say thank you to Priscilla.
Congratulations, Priscilla. And the next student is Yer, goes by Summer Zhu, and going to be presented again by Katie.
Yes, Summer. Yes, me again. Yes, I have 4 amazing students to introduce today. So Summer, I believe, is here. Let me see if I can.
Yes, I'm here.
Find
Hi,
you real quick.
Katie. Hi, everyone.
Oh, hi, Summer. Hi. Hello. So Summer has been a member of my lab since her first year at UC Davis, and she's done everything. So Summer has shown just like this outstanding level of commitment to the lab at all levels, like organizing participant recruitment, testing babies when we were in the lab in person and on Zoom, training new students, new research assistants in person and over Zoom. And Summer just always anticipates what needs to happen in a project and does it. Summer has also shown this just really exceptional dedication and innovation in her independent project, which a project that she received a Provost undergraduate fellowship to support. So Summer's investigating how babies balance attention to where someone is looking with what that person is saying to figure out how to interpret language. So Summer designed this beautiful study to test infants in the lab, and then everything shut down. And she had to design it all again and start all over to test babies over Zoom. She really led the way in testing infants remotely for my lab, was incredibly resourceful and committed to continuing her project. I really enjoyed working with you, Summer, all of these years. I always do this. And
okay.
I will miss we will really miss you, your help, and your leadership, and just the care that you bring to everything that you do. So thank you, Summer.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Summer. And you got to hold it together. You got a couple more.
I know.
The next student is Grace Lauren Paniccia.
Yes, let's see. I checked in with Grace. I hope that she is here also. Looking for Grace. I will keep going and hope that she's, yay, Grace is here. Good. Okay, awesome. So Grace, who just had her graduation ceremony today, this morning. Grace has been in my lab for over a year and had 1 quarter in person in the lab before we had to shut everything down. And we had to move from working to working from home. I nominated Grace for this really special recognition because she has gone above and beyond in supporting the lab. Moving online has been really hard. And at one point, Grace asked me if she could help be a lab organizer, a lab manager, to coordinate our team and our plans in the lab across a big group of people. And I really gratefully accepted that offer, very gratefully. She took this big leadership role, helping to find and train new research assistants who could work remotely, and to corral our group of about 20 undergraduate research assistants that we've had this year, in addition to 3 PhD students and me, keeping us all on track. But in addition to all of this coordinating and support that she's done, Grace has made really great contributions to an undergraduate research conference presentation about how parents talk to their infants, the kinds of sentences that they use to help support how their babies learn to talk. And she and I are still talking about a new idea that she had that she came up with while watching these videos and listening to recordings about how parents use funny sounds to get their infants' attention during play and how to help them learn words. It's a really creative way to think about what parents are doing to support infants' learning. So thank you, Grace, for everything that you've done in this past year plus, and I have really enjoyed working with you too. Yes.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Grace. And Katie, one more. Melanie Wang Munyun.
Yes, I know Melanie. I saw Melanie was on here also. Let's see. So Melanie, just trying to see if I can see her too. My last one, Melanie. I started working with Melanie. There you are. A little less than a year ago. Melanie and I were talking this morning, and we've actually never met in person, but we've worked together, I think, so well. So Melanie approached me with an inquiry about working on an honors thesis, and I was just really impressed with your ability to talk about your interests and your motivation and ideas. Melanie developed this thesis idea to talk about or to investigate how parents try to capture their infants' attention with gestures as they play together. So she's studying how Spanish English bilingual parents adjust gestures when they're using each of their separate languages or combining languages. And so she took on this brand new literature for her honors thesis, and right from the start, understood the topics and was able to integrate this brand new field across studies and came up with a novel research question in a really creative way. She developed her own coding scheme and analyzed her own data. We're now talking about plans for how to wrap up this project and submit it for conference and publication options. So it's been so great working with you, Melanie. I'm glad that we will get to continue your project at least for a little longer, and hopefully meet in person at some point. And then lastly, I'm very pleased to announce that Melanie received highest honors on her excellence thesis.
Amazing.
Thank you all very much,
Melanie. And thank you, Katie, a great example of how to present your student in a very heartfelt but on-time manner. So we appreciate that very much. Congratulations to all of Katie's students. The next person on our list is Kate Shirley Everhart, and Dr. Yuko Munakata is going to tell us about her achievements.
Thanks, Susan. Yes, so Kate Everhart has been an outstanding research assistant in my lab. She has demonstrated depth and versatility with every project she has taken on. She has always gone above and beyond whatever she's working on. This was true in a partnership project that we conducted with Family Hui, which is an organization that runs 12-week parenting support groups. So Kate developed her own question to investigate in this partnership. She asked whether parents who feel more included in the program benefit more from participating in it. And she, on her own, dove into additional resources to conduct statistical analyses that went beyond expectations for this kind of project. Another project that Kate worked on explored how the pandemic might be affecting people's delaying of gratification. So is uncertainty about the future leading people to go more for immediate rewards rather than holding out for the promise of something better in the future? And here again, Kate dove deep. She researched potential survey measures. She synthesized information across papers. She communicated all of her findings effectively to our team, and she made valuable recommendations and helped to develop new measures based on all her work. She also shared the best wellness activity I've ever done with my lab group, which I highly recommend, where she had everyone share a certain place that's special to them and why. And it was just incredibly grounding and peaceful, and a great way for all of us to connect. Kate has also done so much more across labs at UC Davis and as a crisis line volunteer for Yolo County. So for all these reasons, the place she's going next is incredibly lucky to have her joining as a professional research assistant, and that's the Anxiety Disorder Center at the Institute of Living in Connecticut. So congratulations and thank you to Kate Everhart.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Kate. And the next student is Jessica Alexandra Waltman, and also Dr. Yuka Munakata is going to tell us about her.
Okay, yes, Jessica Waltman is a stellar honors student. She has conducted research on how our mindsets can affect how we respond to challenges, and she embodies this idea in her own work and life. So Jessica began her honors thesis with a plan to run an intervention to get students to see intelligence from a growth mindset as something that can be improved like a muscle, rather than from a fixed mindset as something static within us. She developed an initial study idea with me and members of my lab. There she is, with me and members of my lab. And then she consulted with experts in the field. They gave lots of great input, and Jessica flexibly integrated all of that into an ambitious revised research plan. Then we learned earlier this year that this project couldn't be completed due to extenuating circumstances. So Jessica flexibly pivoted to a brand new mindset project that is timely in ways that people here may be able to relate to. So Jessica investigated how the pandemic might be affecting students' academic stress. And she found that mindset matters. Students who see stress as debilitating were more negatively impacted in their academic stress by the pandemic threat, while students who see stress as enhancing were less affected by the pandemic threat. Jessica responded to all the challenges with her thesis and beyond in brilliant and flexible ways. I think she's brought her own growth mindset that has served her really well in taking on challenges across multiple labs at UC Davis, where she's been supported on a provost undergraduate fellowship, and also in a lab at Stanford, where she was funded on a CSLI summer internship. With her mindset, perseverance, adaptability, and dedication to scientific discovery, Jessica's really well positioned for great success as she moves on to her next exciting step, which is the PhD program in psychology at the University of Chicago. So congratulations and thank you, Jessica Waltman.
That's wonderful. Congratulations, Jessica. The next student is also Jessica Annette Berklau, and Dr. Ron Mangan is going to tell us about her wonderful accomplishments.
Thank you. Jessica's here with us. I'm very proud to introduce Jessica, who's receiving a citation for outstanding performance. Jessica has distinguished herself in her studies and participation as a research intern at the Center for Mind and Brain here at UC Davis, where she contributes to a research program on the human brain and cognition that's supported by the National Institute of Mental Health. I'm increasingly impressed with her theoretical understanding, which is obvious from the insightful questions she asks in our research meetings, which are done together with our collaborators who are engineers at the University of Florida, and that's a tough crowd. We're very happy that she'll be able to continue her research in the lab after she graduates today, and she'll do that in person over the coming months. It's been a delight to teach and work with Jessica, who is a veteran and a loving wife and mother, and who often expresses to us her gratitude and joy for the support of her family. Congratulations, Jessica Berklau.
Excellent. Congratulations, Jessica. We see you're on your way to graduation. So have a wonderful time. Thanks. And our next student is Kristen Lee, and Paul Hastings is going to tell us about Kristen's accomplishments.
Thank you, Susan. 2 years, Kristen has been one of the most curious, enthusiastic, and productive members of our lab team and has frequently sought out new opportunities to explore and learn. This year, Kristen came up with an interesting novel question about the development of depression in adolescence. Her analyses showed that girls' depression worsened over 2 years when parents weren't accepting or supportive of their adolescent daughters' sad, scared, and angry feelings. So any current or future parents on the call, please take note. Kristen presented this research as a poster at the Undergraduate Research Conference, and then she presented the work at the Western Psychological Association, where she received a Student Research Award for her poster. In fall, Kristen is going to be starting a master's program at the University of Southern California. Congratulations, Kristen.
Wonderful. Thank you, Paul, and congratulations, Kristen. Next student is also going to be talked about by Dr. Paul Hastings, and it's Lauren Maxine Dalma.
Very special. Lauren is actually joining us from Mexico, where she is with one set of her grandparents who are on the call, and her other set of grandparents in New Jersey are also on the call. So it's absolutely wonderful
That is amazing.
that Lauren's grandparents, you're able to join us in celebrating your granddaughter's tremendous accomplishments. Lauren has been a bright star ever since she joined the Herd Lab. She quickly became adept at working with the psychological data and the physiological data that we collect, and is one of the fastest and most accurate data editors on the team when it comes to impedance cardiography and ECG, electrocardiography. She has also posed some really interesting and insightful questions about how physiological regulation and cultural values may function together to buffer against the development of problematic behaviors in adolescence, a topic which I hope she's going to have future opportunities to explore further. In sometime this summer or fall, I'm not sure of the exact date, Lauren is going to be moving to Israel, where she will be teaching English. So I wish you all the best of luck on this next adventure, and congratulations.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Lauren, and welcome all of Lauren's family members. And the next student is Preetha Velayapan. I hope that I haven't mangled that name too badly, but Paul can re-say it for me if I have. Also presented by Dr. Paul Hastings.
Thank you, Susan. And I've been scanning the call, and I just saw that Preetha is with us. So great to see you again, Preetha. And again, as well as being an excellent editor of electrocardiographic data and also electrodermal data, skin conductance, Preetha has worked on multiple projects with these. She is a remarkably organized and engaged student. I checked in with the graduate students, and all of them came back to me to say how much they appreciated Preetha's contributions in helping to organize the teams, to come up with the editing processes, and to really make the work flow more smoothly. Having also taught her, as well as been in lab meetings with her, principally in this Zoom forum, I'm also very appreciative of her as an active contributor to discussions about research. Preetha will be applying these valuable organizational and educational skills as an educator next year, as she is moving to Philadelphia to work with Teach for America. Congratulations, Preetha.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Preetha. And the next student is Jala Jaffer Antufa. This is a student working in Dr. Eliza Bliss-Moreau's lab, but she will be presented by one of our wonderful graduate students, Anthony Santisteban.
Oh my gosh. So I'm so honored to present Jala for her award or citation for outstanding performance. And Eliza's really sorry that she couldn't present you, Jala, but she's currently in a QE. So I get the honor. So Jala joined the Bliss Murrow Lab after taking Eliza's emotion class. And in the class, she really set herself apart from all of the other students, not only by her outstanding performance, but also by asking some pretty hard-hitting questions in the class, which she carried over to our interactions within the lab, in lab meetings where she's always really pushing the boundaries, both scientifically and kind of philosophically. So it's really been an honor to work with her. In the lab, she works on a variety of projects ranging everywhere from behavioral coding to histological studies. And she approaches each of these with enthusiasm, scientific acumen, and incredible attention to scientific detail. I've personally worked with her on several neuroimaging projects, and it's really been an honor working with that. We count on her to always be prepared and to ask incredibly smart questions. And it's been really a delight having her in the lab and watching her develop as a scholar and as a scientist. So congratulations, Jala.
Thank you, Anthony, and congratulations, Jala. That's wonderful. The next student is Aditi Hosangadi, and it is Lindsay Bowman that will be talking about Aditi's accomplishments.
So first of all, how do I do that pin thing that everybody's doing? Is it just happening automatically?
I think it's not magic, but I do think the advisors are trying to get everybody.
Yes, us advisors are doing that.
Oh, good. So it's magical by your hands. Okay,
like in the way that the advisors are magical in all.
Yes, no, it's very fitting for all of the work they do behind the scenes to just make everything run wonderfully and beautifully.
Correct.
So I am delighted to say a few words about Aditi today. Aditi came to my lab a few years ago through the Aspire program, which is already an achievement in and of itself because it is a program that selects high-performing, highly motivated students to engage in an immersive research training program as they work towards their undergraduate degree. And it was clear from the first few even weeks of working with Aditi that she was headed for outstanding achievements. The research project that Aditi put together over several years of hard work measured how young children's brains respond to emotional expressions. And she investigated how these brain responses then supported other aspects of children's social understanding, like the ability to use information on the face to predict what people are thinking and how they might act. And the work that Aditi did, diving into the existing literature, finding that unanswered question, developing the methods to address the question, learning the complicated process of analyzing brain data, and then ultimately compiling all of her findings into this written thesis. Aditi did all of these things with a level of enthusiasm and aptitude that I really only see in a small handful of students that come into my lab. It's really more like the work of a graduate student. And as I have said in many conversations with my own research colleagues, Aditi has that research spark that's very rare and very special. And it was this spark that not only earned her a grade of highest honors on her thesis, but also earned her a competitive and I think quite coveted research assistant position that she will begin this summer working with Dr. Elizabeth Redkay at the University of Maryland, continuing research on how the brain supports social reasoning. It was an absolute pleasure to work with Aditi in all aspects. She is exceptionally bright, capable, motivated, and really amazingly thoughtful and insightful. I think that this department citation is really just most deserved, and a heartfelt congratulations to you, Aditi.
Thank you, Lindsay, and congratulations, Aditi. The next student we want to honor is Sydney Chen Yi, and Dr. Cam Hostenar is going to tell us about her.
Hi, Sydney, are you here? I am so excited to present Sydney Yi with the departmental citation today and the highest honors for her honors thesis. Sydney has been a stellar research assistant involved with many research projects in my lab, including a meta-analysis project where she screened more than 1,000 abstracts, an online data collection effort related to studying the effects of COVID-19 on families and children, and a secondary data analysis that she conducted for her honors thesis, which is very impressive. We've been impressed with Sydney for the past year and a half with her work ethic, her active class participation in my classes that improves everyone's experience in the class, and her beautifully written comprehensive honors thesis, which was titled Mixed Identity, Examining Chronic Cortisol Output, Perceived Stress, and Mental Health in Biracial, Multiracial, and Monoracial Children. And this thesis is a really great research contribution, not just because it studies links between stress and mental health, but because it focuses on biracial and multiracial youth who have often been neglected or even excluded from prior research. So this is a great idea and a really hard project. I know Sydney has a bright future ahead. I could talk about her all day, but I think we need to wrap up. I'm secretly hoping she'll be my lab manager starting this summer. I know she has a bright future ahead as a clinical psychologist. Hopefully within a year, she'll gain acceptance into a PhD program. And I have no doubt she will one day make an exceptional clinical psychologist. Congratulations, Sydney. We're so proud of you.
Congratulations, Sydney. Thanks, Cam. The next student we have to honor is Jack Conrad Friedrich, and Jack's been working in the Ramtola lab. Will, though, be announced by Sarah Schiavone, which is one of our graduate students.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about Jack. He has stood out since really the moment that he joined our lab over a year ago. He was an outstanding RA who went above and beyond and contributing not only to our research, but to the lab culture overall. Because of this, we asked Jack to be an assistant lab manager. And then over the past year, Jack has led an independent research project investigating the use of open science practices in research published in industrial organizational psychology. Through this, he has really impressed me with his interest in learning new coding skills, which is sometimes hard to find in RAs, but he's great at this. His enthusiasm for research, his interest in open science, and his intellectual curiosity have made him just a pleasure to work with. This fall, he's heading off to a PhD program in industrial organizational psychology at St. Louis University, and we're sure he's going to do really great things there. So we're going to miss you, but we're really excited to hear about all the work that you do in the future.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Jack. Thanks, Sydney. Thank you, Sarah. So our next student is Jasmine Dadra, and Dr. Simona Getty will be telling us about Jasmine's accomplishments.
Hello, everyone. Jasmine, are you here? I saw you're here. I hope you will be pinned by our, but if not, I'll start talking about you. Oh, here you are, Jasmine. Congratulations. I'm so excited to be here today and to have the opportunity to express loudly how excited I am for you and proud for your work. So you must know, everyone, that Jasmine is an absolute superstar. Ever since she joined our laboratory, Memory and Development Lab, which was about 2 years ago, she has shown remarkable insight, curiosity, determination, work ethics, all of these wonderful characteristics that make successful scholars. Her work in my lab culminated in a beautiful thesis looking at mechanisms of early memory development in toddlers. She looked at 2-year-olds. She did really hard work looking at 2-year-olds' ability to remember specific events about their lives. And she looked at the relation between the ability to remember and the structure of their brain, particularly a structure called the hippocampus that is responsible for memorizing specific events. She also presented her work at the undergraduate research conference and at our departmental conference. And in those presentations, she was clear, poised, ready to answer all sorts of questions like a pro. We really think that Jasmine has a super bright future ahead of her, but we're very happy that she's going to share a little bit of that bright future with us, because she's going to stay in the lab an extra year at least. We'll see if we can convince her to stay more, continuing the line of work that she's done for her thesis, namely about early development in memory, but also joining an additional research study on cognitive function in children who suffer from type 1 diabetes. Jasmine is really the whole package. She is a wonderful person to work with. She's determined. She keeps me in check. She demands the feedback that she deserves. It's been really wonderful to work with her. So thank you so much, Jasmine, for your contribution and congratulations.
Congratulations, Jasmine. And the next student that we have to honor is Tiffany Lynn. And Tiffany's been working in Dr. Paul Eastwick's lab. There's going to be a tag team talking about between Paul Eastwick and one of our graduate students, Lee Smith.
Lee, go ahead.
Okay, I think I'm going to go first, but I'm not tagged. Tiffany, I don't know if you can see me, but Paul and I are presenting on behalf of you. You're receiving a citation for your outstanding honors thesis. At the broadest level, Tiffany has been conducting research on how mental health practitioners can develop stronger, more holistic, and healthier relationships with their clients. But what I really want to talk about is this. One of the primary things that makes Tiffany such an inspiring student and researcher to work with is that she never loses sight of how our work is actually connected to the human experience. I think it is so easy to get caught up in the nitty-gritty methods or running subjects or analysis or how the data are going to fit into a paper, just that intense daily grind. But Tiffany came into this project, looked at the same data sets that I've been looking at for years, and generated a series of hypotheses that were grounded in theory and previous research, et cetera, et cetera. But most importantly, her ideas were grounded in deeply creative thinking. And quite frankly, and Tiffany, you already know this, but reminded me why it can be so inspiring to study humans and their relationships to one another in the first place. It's been a really hard year for a lot of people, and the type of inspiration that Tiffany brings is just something that you can't teach. So she already knows this, but I want to thank you for being so curious and courageous, and for your endurance and grit on this project and the meetings that would go over 5 hours and we'd just be talking and talking and talking. And I'm so grateful to have had the chance to work with you. Oh, also, and you received highest honors on this thesis project.
And I want to say thank you to Tiffany. Tiffany helped me out in addition to her incredible thesis and research contributions. She TA'd for my class twice. My very large undergraduate class. And as I was going into this undergraduate teaching this year, I was in a panic, as I'm sure many of us were, about how on earth I was going to make this work. And Tiffany was like calmer about this whole thing than I was, and just had this like attitude of like, I got this, don't worry about anything. And she did it for me on 2 occasions, and you made my life so much better. I am very, very grateful for that. So thank you.
Girl, you're so fabulous.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Lee and Paul, and congratulations, Tiffany. The next student we have to honor is Wang Ian Folk, and this is a student from the Bales lab. Karen's with us. Good. Karen Bales will tell us about Wang Ian.
And I believe Jaden is here as well. So we were really excited and pleased to be able to nominate Jaden Falk for this departmental citation for all of the outstanding contributions she made to psychological research while working in our lab. Especially she was working on questions about how TD monkeys choose their partners. So can a speed date predict the success of a future relationship? So fun stuff. Jaden started working with us right before the pandemic, but mostly had ended up doing her internship from remote, which was still a joy because she was still very enthusiastic even when she could only do the work virtually and not get to do the fun part of being in there with the animals. She scored many hours of video data for us in a manner that was both dedicated and diligent, and presented the results of these data at the undergraduate research conference. And throughout, I've been impressed by how very thorough and massively organized Jaden is. And I think both of these qualities, as well as her scientific curiosity and enthusiasm, will serve her well, both in life in general and in her next step, which is graduate school at Brandeis University. So many congratulations to Jaden, and many thanks for all your hard work with us in the lab.
Congratulations, Jaden. And we'll have Karen stay pinned while we go to our next student that we have to honor, who's James David Haggerty.
Right, and I'm not sure if James is on the call or not, but we were also very excited to nominate James for a departmental citation as well for his contribution to our research program. James actually interned with us in the Prairieville lab for about 2.5 years. So he had the opportunity to make strong contributions on several different projects. Most significantly to questions about how the oxytocin receptor is involved in social recognition. And this was in Prairieville's that were knockouts for the oxytocin receptor gene. James always showed a real desire and enthusiasm to learn new things, always asking, what else he can do to be involved. And in general, that was my cat's tail, he demonstrated very strong leadership within our lab amongst the other undergrads, and just always brought a very positive and jovial demeanor that really brightened our lab environment for the last 2.5 years. So again, congratulations and many thanks to James.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karen, and congratulations, James. Next student we have to honor is Jessica Allison Macaluso, and Dr. Charan Ranganath is going to present her a citation for outstanding performance.
All right, it's my pleasure to give a citation to Jessica Macaluso. To my knowledge, she's not actually on this call because I think she graduated actually in fall, but she wasn't able to get the citation till now. But for the record, I will do so. I'll present this anyway. Jessica is, I think the best word to describe her is just a go-getter. She started off in my lab working with a postdoc, Zach Rea, on a bunch of memory projects. And as many of you know, memory experiments are super boring. They involve presenting people with a bunch of stuff that they have to memorize. So it's bad enough that students have to do this in class. They also do this in my lab. And out of the blue, Jessica would always do all the work she had to do in the lab, but then also do extra stuff. She would approach me and say, I want to apply for a McNair fellowship. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea. I'll support that. And then she would just do everything and get the McNair. And then she decided she wanted to do a URC poster to show off the research that she had done. And I said, oh, okay. And then it just appeared and it was great. And she decided to go ahead and come up with an entirely new experiment that really makes memory research fun, in which she developed this paradigm in which people have to solve a murder mystery. And they have to use their memory to be able to predict who the most likely suspect is. And in real time, she would track the different suspicion of the different people and then use that to predict memory performance. And so, it's not every day that you find somebody inventing a new way to study memory, let alone an undergrad. So I just want to praise Jessica, and not surprisingly, given how talented she is, she's gone straight from undergrad to grad school and will be starting in the doctoral program in Pittsburgh next year.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Charan, and congratulations to Jessica, who will watch the recording, I'm sure. Now, the next 4 students are really, really special. They are our peer advisor group, and Rachel Hale is going to take over from here, presenting all 4 of them. And Rachel, do us a favor and just give everybody a quick overview of how important these peer advisors are to our department and what they do.
Sure. I have had the honor and privilege of being the peer supervisor this last year. Our peer advisors are wonderful, and they are very important to our department because they help us with advising all of the students. We have 3,000 plus majors between the 4 departments that we advise for. So yeah, they help us keep things running, and they help manage our stress too. So they are very important to us. All of our peer advisors have been absolutely amazing this year. Most of them were actually hired last spring after the pandemic started, so they never got to work in person. They've been highly adaptable and have met every challenge that's been thrown at them with poise and grace. And the first peer advisor who's graduating that I'm going to talk about is Vineha. I couldn't have asked for a better lead peer advisor than Vineha. She's been my right hand this last year and has literally helped me survive. She took on any task I assigned to her and delivered more than I expected. She'll be attending Columbia for grad school in the fall, and I know that she will do amazing things. Irina, who is a psych transfer student, it looks like she wasn't able to make it to the ceremony. but we hired her last spring, and her bubbly personality and experience as a transfer student made her an excellent peer advisor. I really appreciated her helpful attitude. Irina has been accepted to the creative writing grad program at UCD for fall, so luckily she's not going too far. The next peer advisor who's graduating is Daisy. I'll wait until Daisy's up on the screen here to talk about her. Hi, Daisy. So Daisy is another transfer student. She's a psych and soc org studies double major. She's been working for us for 3 years now, and I will really miss her goofy personality and jokes during the peer meetings. Daisy can always be relied on to lighten the mood. And I believe that she is taking a gap year this next year. Is that correct? And then are you applying to grad programs? I think, okay, good. I'm glad I was right about that. All right, and last but not least is Christina. She joined us last spring and is a psych and communication double major. I've really appreciated her calm demeanor and her chill attitude. She does not get flustered, which has been wonderful. She always takes things in stride, and she plans to move to Florida and apply to communication related jobs since she is also a communication major. And I will just miss all of the peer advisors so much this next year.
Thank you so much, Rachel, for talking about each of our incredible peer advisors. And as Rachel said, they're so important to the running of our department and our absolutely gigantic major. And I just, since we have a few more minutes, want to take the opportunity to once again sing the praises of our advising staff, led by Melina, and all of you, Rachel, Jillian, I'm trying to see who all is on here, Kristen, Alyssa, am I missing anyone? You'll have to, oh, Stacy's here. These folks deserve a lot of our thanks and gratitude and praise for keeping this wild boat afloat with all of our undergraduate students during this year that none of us could have ever even imagined how difficult it was going to be. You've done this remotely, you've done this, you know, with the sort of grace, energy, and absolute boundless ability to pivot and come up with new solutions. And we're all very grateful to you. And just once more, I want to say how like brimming with pride I am to hear all of these stories about these students from each of these faculty members and graduate students whom they worked with. It is really incredible to hear what they've accomplished, what they've done in the labs. And it's, you know, again, top 3%. So these are special folks, but it makes me really, really proud that you graduated from the psychology department at UC Davis. And it makes me very hopeful that you're going out into the world to, you know, both, you know, be ambassadors for UC Davis, but also just turn this globe into an even better place to be. So we're just all very proud of you. And I'm proud of the faculty who kept on time. I was very panicked that we wouldn't be able to get through all the students. So I really appreciate everybody being judicious in their words. But please feel free to break in and say anything you forgot to say, or whatever other accolades you want to shout out, since we have just a few minutes left. I'm seeing so many congratulations coming through in the chat. And of course, we all are very, very proud of everyone and want to congratulate everyone again. Simona, did you want to say a word or two?
Still do an applause, like a loud one.
Do a real applause, just as though we were in a room together.
Yeah,
let's do
that.
Yay!
Congratulations!
Congratulations, everybody.
Congratulations. We wish we could have been in a room with you, giving you lunch and meeting your parents and your grandparents, but this is the best we can do. And you guys have made us so proud, and it's a great day. Enjoy your graduations, and congratulations, everyone.